Hello everyone! Christmas is just round the corner and this is the season for buying, for shopping, for cookies, for cakes and baking.
Oh, talking about baking, remember during circuit breaker, I had 2 whole months of serious baking. It was fun, but I can't imagine myself being cooped up at home to do more than 2 months of it. It would be tough.
Oh, so you think 2 months is tough, but some had it even tougher. Just like our first story for this evening, Vivian Go. Vivian suffers from spinal muscular atrophy, which is a genetic disorder that leads to a gradual and irreversible weakness and wasting away of the muscles used for movement.
From a chirpy little girl, Vivian today is bedridden, in body, but not in spirit. She has the most incredible will not to be held down by her condition. And from her bed, she runs an online business and incredibly has written a book.
CityJo Carson visited Vivian to find out all about her brave and indomitable spirit.
Have you ever met somebody so inspiring that you've just got to meet her? Today I'm in Bedok. I'm about to meet Vivian Go. Despite being bedridden for over 20 years, Vivian has been an inspiration to many people. She has her own Facebook page, website, and even an online shop. I understand she is up to something new. Let's find out what it is.
I am Vivian Go. This year is 41 years old. I have a condition is spinal muscular atrophy from 2.5 years old. When I'm young, I cannot sit by myself. When I 7 months, I cannot turn. 1.5 years old, I have a pneumonia. Then in out hospital.
就每次都进出医院，从小一直这样进出，医院就好像家这样了。
My challenge is my hand cannot move like before. The finger also cannot move. When I young, I can do sewing, right? Take spoon to eat, drink water. Slowly until 30 plus. Then I cannot do anything on my hand. I never been to school. But I learn for myself. I like to do the exercise book like maths, English, Chinese. Honestly, I think it starts from 90s. I like to go online, see the other people selling what they sell. Then I thinking if other people can do it, I also can do. Vivian 包咖了。
爆咖了，哇！
包咖了。That means everything I have lah. I find my product myself. If people want to order, then I buy the thing. My website, the main page is my godbrother set up for me. Product upload and the plug-in and other things I do myself.
I find it amazing that Vivian does not let what other people see as setbacks stop her from achieving what she wants.
Got one technology is for eyes control. Yeah, use the eye to control the computer. So now I'm using this technology. When my hand cannot do the sewing, then take the book, and cannot do the other thing, then I start using computer. Because my fingers still can move, the mouse. Yeah, you cannot do this, but you can change to other thing you can do.
I've learned a powerful lesson from Vivian. When one door shuts, look for another open door.
I never feel sad and angry or what. I just change the thing what I can do. So don't give up.
他这样他可以做很多东西，我们要向他学习。他们很喜欢来我们家，好像有什么，他说我们看你们每次很 happy 的我也要讲说，如果有这样的孩子父母也不要放弃他们，要用你的爱心跟什么来耐心照顾他们。看到他每天现在这样我就很开心哦。
Vivian, can you tell us why did you write your book?
I hope this book can help people. If other people like me, I can do it. You also can do it. My future I want can donate some money to charity. Then I can save some money for my mother.
Tell us a bit more about your book.
Yeah, you want to know? Then you must buy. I hope my book can encourage someone. Don't give up so easy.
The title of Vivian's book is Bedridden and Unstoppable. You may purchase it at the link following this video. Wow, that was such an inspiring experience. I've just met Vivian and her mother Ivy. She only has her eyes to do work for her, and yet she's got a website, she's got an online shop, and now she's authored a book. Maybe it's time for me to work on my website. I'm CityJo Carson, Singapore 1.
What an inspiring story. Thanks, Carson. And may your online store continue to grow like your spirit too, Vivian.
If you're interested in buying Vivian's book, Bedridden and Unstoppable, there's a link in the description below.
So now we know that being stuck at home for 2 months is no reason for us to complain. Be inspired and make the best of whatever circumstances you're in.
On her website, Vivian Pao Ka Liao, you can find all sorts of gift ideas, like jewelries to cookies to cakes and ready-to-eat meals. Good place to shop during this Christmas season.
Hey, yes, that's a good idea. I was just thinking what to get you for Christmas. Now I can find some inspiration on Vivian's site.
Oh, great minds think alike.
Okay, our next story revolves around Kevin Chiak, a bodybuilder with a love for cats and his cat cafe, Catopia.
Oh, I know this place. It's actually at Dunlop Street in Little India. And this business actually started during the circuit breaker last year.
Now, a few days ago, Carson, our hardworking CityJo, met up with the owner, Kevin, as well as Jasper and all other cool cats at Catopia. Tell us more, Carson.
Children. Hello. Hello.
I'm here at Catopia. I'm going to meet somebody very interesting. He's the owner of the cafe. What is a cat cafe? A cat cafe is a place where you go where you can pet cats. It's really fun place. And what's really interesting is the owner is actually a big burly guy. Let's go meet up with him. Kevin Chiak is the owner of Catopia. Let's find out more about him.
Okay, well, I wear many hats, right? But otherwise, I'm pretty much known in the fitness industry. I won a male pageant, Manhunt Singapore. I won the senior category, at the age of 30. I went into the sports of bodybuilding. I won the overall title, which is Mr. Singapore. It started one day when I saw this cat on the street. I felt active, basically hungry. And then I went to get some food and started feeding. And then I started feeding more and more cats. One fine day, I thought to myself, maybe it's about time that I start adopting them as well. When you get as close as providing them with food, and every time when they eat and they glance at you, it's a different soul coming. When you have compassion towards animals, you start feeling for them. You feel their hunger, you feel lonely for them. The rest just come naturally.
They're just very cute, sometimes affectionate.
All the cats can be friendly. It's just put in the effort to get to know them, hug them and kiss them like that. I will, mwah, mwah. Not only are they different in markings, different in color, but otherwise they all have their own personality. Jasper is obviously the alpha. His second man will be Fuma. Bruno is a very zen cat. He don't meddle in politics. For me, I look at them like the same. So whether they are short hair, they're black, they're white, stained with yellow. I create sort of like a cat boarding kind of a place, and that started it all, hence the start of Catopia staycation. Then COVID came along. Obviously then, the business went down. Why not then convert it into a cat cafe so that cats could still live among humans?
Oh, I finally got a cat who will rub your body against me.
Hygiene is of most importance right here. We really place a lot on the cleanliness. When we close, doesn't mean that the staff go off day. When we close, in fact, we put in more staff because we need to clean the whole place. A more thorough clean. I mean, of course, daily cleaning is required.
What were your struggles setting up Catopia as a cat cafe?
It's the requirements, right? First of all, the Singapore Food Agency has got to approve it as a F&B place. During that time, it was the circuit breaker. So after about 30 over emails, I got the drawings approved. I will have to get the place constructed. The moment when circuit breaker was over, they came over basically to help out with the construction of the place. So that was, I guess, the main struggle. I certainly hope to set up Catopia Staycation again. I really wish for Catopia to be not just a business, it's my business in fitness that is chipping in to help out with the cafe finances. I also wish that more people will be in love with cats. Remember, when you adopt one, it's for life.
So a big guy like Kevin actually has a big heart. Have you ever seen a big guy like that cuddle his cats like the way he does? I've enjoyed my time here at the cat cafe, Catopia. I'm CityJo Carson, Singapore 1.
Those cats were so adorable!
I know, right? You just want to pick them up and then just cuddle them.
Yes! We have to go there, okay?
Sure, why not?
Now, what was really interesting for me about Kevin's story was the reason why he started out Catopia in the first place. He saw a cat on the street that looked hungry and he decided to feed it. And this simple act of kindness must have stirred within him his maternal instincts, and that led him to setting up a whole cat cafe sanctuary to help those poor but cute creatures.
That's right. So you see, Kevin is actually entrepreneurial and empathetic at the same time.
And empathy is something that we all could have more of. Sometimes we're very quick to judge people or to make assumptions about them without trying to see things from their point of view in the first place.
Yeah, Evelyn, you're right. But then what can we do?
I think our CityJo Dharmhik may have some ideas about insensitive people who make insensitive remarks.
Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about a more serious topic that is close to my heart. In order to approach this topic, we have to start with the government's efforts towards a more racially sensitive society. And my question is, why only be racially sensitive when we can learn to be sensitive to other topics such as people with varying abilities? According to an article by CNA on the 2020 Singapore census, 28.2 thousand people between the age of 5 and 65 are unable to or struggle with at least one basic activity. And this comes to question, are we racially sensitive enough to these people? And to that question, my personal answer is no. Personally, I have gone through situations where I have had people tell me, you are so lucky to be on a wheelchair. And as an adult, this doesn't faze me anymore. But for any young adult or child, this is a terrible thing to hear and can have long-term impact. Could you imagine having to navigate a mobility device in tight spaces while trying to avoid people and not harming things around you? Most people could just simply take a side step and walk on. And whilst most people would simply be able to reach things in eye level, for me, I usually have to bring a friend along just to reach items that usually are just a simple arm's length away. And multitasking isn't much of an option, as usually one hand or both hands have to be used in order for us to move about. People don't realize that having a mobility device also means that the amount of time you can spend outside is limited by the battery. And if I don't remember to charge, I could be left stranded outside. Could you imagine if you had to deal with that situation for your legs? The one thing that truly gets on my nerves is when my friends tell me, "You're so lucky to be on a wheelchair, you don't have to go through NS." What they're truly telling me is, I'm so lucky that I lost the opportunity to be able to go through this shared experience that majority of Singaporean men go through, and that it's okay that I feel alienated whenever they start talking about it. The fact that you guys have 2 years to think about what you're gonna do after your tertiary education, I do not have that. I do not have that crutch. I do not get the option of saying, I do not know what I want to do, let me sign on. I have lost all this, but all you see is, oh, he doesn't have to go through the PT. It really is sad that that's what it has come down to. And I never want to hear another person tell me, you're so lucky to not go through NS. Okay guys, now let's hear about what my friend here has to say about the topic today. I'd like to ask, what do you think about such comments like, you're so lucky to be on a wheelchair and on?
I feel like that's why it's called insensitive comments, because like you can never empathize with the other person, especially when you cannot know how another person actually feels. But if you put yourself in Dharmik's shoes, it's not as simple as how we will even do it. And for people to say this kind of comments, say like, oh, it's so, like you're so lucky to be in a wheelchair like that. Like, why, bro? Why you gotta do that shit? Like, yeah, and that's why it's called insensitive, because like you don't really understand how the other person feels, and yet you can make such a comment, and that's just very appalling for me.
I believe to create a more sensitive society, we have to start young. We could have schools expand their civic education curriculum to develop empathy for the differently abled. Have young students walk a mile in the shoes of the hearing or visually impaired and learn to interact with them on a personal level. It is a skill that can and should be developed. With that said, this is CityJo Dharmhik for Singapore One, and that's my humble opinion.
Thanks for sharing your experiences and your concerns, Dharmhik.
I think Dharmhik provided a good idea on how to deal with a lack of empathy too, didn't he? Education. If we start to encourage empathy from a young age, then people will be able to learn to be more sensitive and to see the world through the eyes of others.
That's right. For me, it's simply about just being kind, isn't it? If you can do nothing else for the person, at least you can be kind.
Agree. And that's the best thing that you can do for the world.
Yeah, that's something for you to think about. And something that is on everybody's mind these days, I'm sure, is the Omicron, which is our final story. Omicron has been dubbed a variant of concern by the World Health Organization on Friday last week.
That's right. It was first detected in Southern Africa, believed to be a more contagious COVID strain, and Singapore and many other countries have recently restricted travel from South Africa. Let's hear from Street Talk to see what's in the mind of Singaporeans about this.
What? Don't judge me. Now got this new COVID-19 variant called the Megatron or something. Very scary, Better be safe than sorry. Just as international borders are opening up, bam, we are hit by another new COVID-19 variant, the Omicron. Now, although WHO has advised against banning international travel, many countries have tightened their border restrictions. Singapore, are you ready for stricter safety measurements? Me and my CityJos are out on the streets to find out. So with the new variant, do you think we are ready to go back to stricter measures? I see. And how about you? Do you think we should close our borders every time there is a new variant? Wow, so insightful. Good job, good job. Oops. So with the new COVID-19 variant, which is the Omicron, how ready are you all to go back to stricter safety measures?
I feel that we shouldn't go back to stricter measures because people should just learn to live with it.
It has been so long, man.
Honestly, no, because next year I'm going to JC, so I would really want to be able to hang out with more people.
You know, I think it's just panic reaction. As far as I can see, it's no different from anything else. But all the governments are panicking now and closing the borders. It's ridiculous.
Quite sian in a sense. Yeah, so I'm not really ready to go back to stricter, but if it comes to the situation where it's quite serious, then yeah, I have to go back, no choice.
Do you think Singapore should close its borders every time there's a new variant?
Yes. Yeah, because I think that's the way to continue.
Yeah.
Of course not. It's ridiculous. I mean, think of the poor people running businesses in Singapore. I've just come back to Singapore and I see so many businesses closed.
The economy, tourism, everyone who is working in this kind of industry will suffer a lot.
I think it depends on how severe the variant is and how it spreads in Singapore.
I think it depends on where the source of the variant is from. So maybe if the source is from that country, that particular country, then it close the borders with that particular country first.
And how do you all feel if you all continue to cannot travel?
It will be quite sad. You cannot go somewhere else where you want to go. I also feel sad because we can't travel, can't see the beautiful places.
So now that we are 2 years into COVID-19, how do you feel about the whole situation?
Oh, frustrated. I wish this thing can stop as soon as possible.
My family are in Australia. I haven't seen them, my children, for 18 months.
Definitely not happy. I mean, it's quite frustrating that once we open the borders and we can hang out with other people, then suddenly you have to close back. It's a lot of adapting and changing for us.
Actually, I'm quite used to it. Quite used to not hanging out in groups. Yeah, used to not eating out, always eating at home.
I feel that Singapore is doing quite a good job in terms of containing the virus while still making sure that we are still able to let in people to come in and invest in our country.
I was supposed to go overseas for uni, but then because of COVID I couldn't go. So now I'm in NUS and I met them. So it's not bad, I guess. Okay lah, huh?
Not very good for us. Not very good for us.
Yeah, we actually wish you went overseas.
And I can see that you're a very close-knitted family. Do you think COVID helped in that situation?
Yes, I think so. Yeah, it helps us to get together closer because I think in the past we are so busy with our own life. But now because we get to spend more time together at home, so we learn to live with each other's differences.
You all agree, Mamina? Yes. So, it's very nice to see that most of our Singaporeans are saying that they have adapted to it and they have found the silver lining in it. But of course, everybody remember to stay safe, stay healthy, use more hand sanitizers. Only when you stay safe and healthy, then next time you can go and visit other countries. This is Auntie Abby from Singapore One.
Thank you, Abby, for that street report. Now, even as Singapore steps up its border measures, Mr. Lawrence Wong said on the 30th of November that there will not be any changes to COVID-19 community restrictions for now, as not enough data is known about the new variant yet.
Now we know that the Omicron mutations are occurring in the spike proteins. Next, we need to ascertain if it is a more virulent variant or causes a milder version of the disease. And if that happens, it might just be a good thing. Because as an infection can boost a person's immunity against more virulent variants.
You know, Darren, I just want to say this. I feel so safe being in Singapore. We have one of the lowest death rates in the world at 0.2%, and our hospital ICU are not overcrowded. Our multi-ministry task force is doing a wonderful job, I feel, and this is something I'm truly appreciative of.
I also want to appreciate everyone that is in Singapore during this period, because it takes everyone's effort to keep COVID numbers down.
True. Yes. And we are after all in the early stage of our journey towards an endemic status. So I believe given the time, we should see some great improvement soon.
Indeed, we are beginning to see signs of improvement for the first time. On the 3rd of November, our weekly infection rate dropped below 1, meaning the pace of people getting infected is less than the people they pass infection to. This is a key indicator of the improvement in our COVID situation.
And since it fell below 1, the average weekly infection rate has remained below 1, with the exception of only one day. From last Saturday's 0.75, it has declined to Tuesday's 0.66.
So there's light at the end of the tunnel. Stay safe and don't let your guard down.
Nor your mask down, please.
Oh, yes. Okay, so that's it for now. So we hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.